You're listening to Red Pill 78. I am the corruption detector, and this is your Red Pill News. This is a story I've been meaning to get to for the last several days, but there's just been so much going on. Wanted to talk about it on the live streams, but again, I just had so much news to go over. So today we are going to exclusively take a look at this story from the Epoch Times. That right there is former FBI agent Peter Strzok, and as far as I know, current employee of a certain other three-letter agency, because we have heard nothing about him losing his job there. He was probably rewarded, if I had to make a guess. But in this report here from Ivan Penchikov, exclusive, FBI ignored major lead on Clinton emails, closed-door testimony suggest. Congressional investigators have gathered enough evidence to suggest that the FBI, under the Obama administration, ignored a major lead in the Clinton email probe, according to transcripts of closed-door testimonies of several current and former Bureau officials. The Office of the Intelligence Community Inspector General informed the FBI in 2015 that a forensic review of Hillary Clinton's emails unearthed anomalies in the metadata of the messages. The evidence in the metadata suggested that a copy of every Hillary Clinton email during her tenure as the Secretary of State was forwarded to a foreign third party. We've heard about this before on my show, and we know what that country is. The existence of the lead was first revealed during the public testimony of Department of Justice Inspector General Michael Horowitz in June last year. Horowitz acknowledged the existence of the specific lead and said he spoke about it to Intelligence Community Inspector General Charles McCullough. Yet despite the alarming nature of the referral, Horowitz's 568-page report on the FBI's handling of the Clinton email investigation made no mention of the lead or how the Bureau handled it. The omission caught the attention of Representative Mark Meadows, who pressed Horowitz for an explanation. Horowitz said he would get back to the committee with answers. It's unclear if Horowitz ever followed up on that promise. Meadows went on to question several current and former FBI officials about the lead, including Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, Bill Priestap, Jonathan Mava, John Giacalone, and James Comey. In all the interviews, transcripts of which were reviewed for this article, the officials claimed to remember nothing about the specific referral from the ICIG, suggesting that the lead was either suppressed or ignored by investigators. During questioning, Meadows repeatedly suggested that Strzok, the former FBI official best known for being fired from the agency last year for his anti-Trump text messages, ignored the lead and never followed up with the ICIG regarding the referral. The Bureau also didn't interview anyone from the ICIG's office, including Frank Rucker, the investigator who initially briefed the FBI team about the anomalies, according to the transcripts. An official from the ICIG communications office didn't respond to repeated requests for an interview with Rucker. Now, Meadows summed up that lawmakers have learned about the ICIG lead while questioning Comey on December 17th last year. Comey served as the director of the FBI during the Clinton email probe. He was one of the last witnesses interviewed by lawmakers shortly before the House Judiciary and Oversight Committees wrapped up their review of actions taken and not taken by the FBI and the DOJ during the 2016 presidential election. Well, just to be clear, Mr. McCullough has indicated to members of Congress that there was zero follow-up, Meadows told Comey. There are allegations they believe were largely ignored by the FBI. When contacted for a comment about the allegations, McCullough, now a partner at the Compass Rose Legal Group, said he didn't expect the FBI to follow up on the referral with his office. McCullough also said he never alleged that the FBI ignored any leads. It was the FBI's investigation. The flow of information was purposely one way from the ICIG to the FBI, McCullough said January 29th. I was in no way overseeing what the Bureau was doing, and I didn't expect them to inform me of results of their investigation. Having spent 10 years of my life as an FBI special agent, I presumed they would take appropriate action with respect to whatever information I gave them. I did not follow up with them to ensure that was the case, McCullough added. The FBI had no comment on the allegations. Strzok was one of 4 officials briefed on the anomalies. He was transferred to FBI headquarters from the FBI field office in Washington to work on the Clinton email probe about 2 months after it was opened, and eventually the investigation into alleged collusion between the Trump campaign and Russia. According to memos, Strzok called the ICIG offices 10 minutes after Comey exonerated Clinton in July 2016 and asked to close out the Inspector General's referral. The ICIG referred the Clinton email case to the FBI on July 6, 2015, pursuant to the Intelligence Authorization Act, which requires agencies to advise the FBI immediately of any information, regardless of its origin, which indicates that classified information is being or may have been disclosed in an unauthorized manner to a foreign power or an agent of a foreign power, according to the Justice Department Inspector General's report on the handling of the email case. The Bureau officially opened the investigation on July 10, 2015. Meadows confronted Strzok about the metadata anomalies in Clinton's emails during a closed-door interview on June 27th last year. Sir, I do not recall a meeting with the ICIG made any reference to changes in the metadata, Strzok said. What I can tell you, Congressman, is that our technical experts, any allegation of intrusion, any review of metadata that might be indicative of an act, was pursued by our technical folks, and I am very confident that they did that thoroughly and well. I am certainly unaware of anything that we did not pursue or had not pursued. McCullough told the Epoch Times that he did interact with the Bureau after the initial meeting when he referred the Clinton email case. He tasked Rucker to handle day-to-day interactions with the Bureau. Rucker would go on to pass information to the FBI in several tranches. It's unclear whether the lead on metadata anomalies was passed along during the initial referral or as part of a separate meeting. According to a version of events put forth by Representative Louis Gohmert, a Republican Texas, during Strzok's public testimony in June last year, Rucker passed on the referral during a meeting with 4 FBI officials. Jeanette McWilliam, the legal counsel for the ICIG, also attended the meeting, according to Gohmert. According to the transcripts, 3 of the 4 FBI officials briefed on the ICIG were Strzok, then Executive Assistant John Giacolone, and then Section Chief Dean Chappell. The identity of the 4th official remains unclear. Moffa, who was a lead analyst on the Clinton email probe, told lawmakers during a closed-door interview on August 24th last year that he met the ICIG together with Counter-Espionage Section Chief Charles Cable. Moffa said he and Cable met the ICIG 2 or 3 times during the early days of the investigation. Lawmakers asked at least 2 of the 4 present at the meeting, Strzok and Giacolone, about their interactions with the ICIG. Both claimed to not remember being told anything about anomalies in the metadata of Clinton's emails, and the possibility that a copy of every message was sent to a foreign actor. Giacolone told lawmakers he remembers a specific country of concern being discussed during either a face-to-face meeting or other communication. And that country of concern was China. President Donald Trump suggested in August last year that Clinton's emails were obtained by China. Hillary Clinton's emails, many of which are classified information, got hacked by China. Next move better be by the FBI and DOJ. After all of their other missteps, Comey, McCabe, Strzok, Page, Orr, FISA, Dirty Dossier, etc., their credibility will be forever gone. All right, now, based on what they're saying in this article about the hack, I thought that it would be relevant to take a look at this post right here, post 1983 with post 1982 embedded in it from our favorite Anon. So it states some articles related to this very matter. And I saw another report right here from the New York Times saying that it started in 2010, the passing of the emails to China. So HRC Secretary of State from 2009 to 2013. Coincidence? When she became Secretary of State, the emails then began to flow to China. But our favorite Anon has said here that think server access granted. I believe that's supposed to be server, not sever. Money talks, CrowdStrike. So is it being stated here that CrowdStrike, the cybersecurity firm that has the worst track record in the history of cybersecurity firms, set up the server to allow the passing of information to China? We also know that as a result of this information being passed to China, there were several agents of a particular 3-letter agency that lost their lives. Now, the president was likely responding to a report released days earlier by the Daily Caller, citing 2 anonymous sources. claiming that a Chinese-owned company operating in the Washington area obtained nearly all of Clinton's emails. The firm received Clinton's emails in real time using a code embedded on a private, unauthorized server she used for government work while she was Secretary of State, the report alleged. Fox News confirmed the Daily Caller report, citing two anonymous sources. It isn't clear if the Fox sources are different from those used by the Daily Caller. Cable and Chappell served as counter-espionage section chiefs alongside Strzok during the early days of the Clinton email investigation. Both Cable and Chappell have expertise in Chinese espionage, a factor which, if the media reports about China are true, may have initially contributed to their selection for the Clinton email team. That would make a lot of sense. Cable led investigations against known and suspected Chinese intelligence officers in the U.S. for a year and 5 months, starting in 2009, according to an FBI promotion notice and his LinkedIn profile. While little is known about Chappell's time at the FBI, he was cited among experts on Chinese espionage in a Fox News article published 2 weeks after the start of the Clinton email probe. Executive Assistant Director Randall Coleman, the senior-most official overseeing the email probe, is also cited in the article, as well as the related FBI press release. Despite playing a prominent role in the investigation, Cable's name isn't mentioned in Horowitz's otherwise voluminous and exhaustive report on the handling of the Clinton email investigation. Chappell, who met with the ICIG and worked in counterespionage, also isn't mentioned in the report. The FBI wouldn't confirm whether Chappell still works for the Bureau. With the exception of Comey, every person in the chain of command above Strzok was replaced at different points during the Clinton email investigation. On December 9, 2015, Comey moved Cable out of FBI headquarters to the Washington field office, ending his term on the Clinton email probe. 2 weeks after Cable's departure, Comey appointed Bill Priestap to serve as Assistant Director of the FBI's Counterintelligence Division, replacing Randall Coleman, who held the same position until December 21, 2015. A month later, Comey appointed Andrew McCabe to replace Mark Giuliano as Deputy Director, and the following month, Comey appointed Michael Steinbach to replace Gia Colon as the Executive Assistant Director for the National Security Branch. If Cable was the fourth person present at the meeting when Rucker told FBI about the email metadata anomalies, Strzok would be the only official who learned of the ICIG lead and remained on the Clinton email investigation until it was concluded. Priestap, who arrived 6 months after the ICIG anomaly referral, told lawmakers on June 5th last year that he didn't know Frank Rucker, the ICIG investigator, and that he was never informed of the referral of the anomalies in the metadata in Clinton's emails. Strzok reported to Priestap. Representative Meadows asked, "Is this the first time you've ever heard that there might have been metadata on the Hillary Rodham Clinton server that showed anomalies?" Priestap responds, "Yes, I do not recall being told that there were," and I say anomalies. In an exchange that followed, Priestap clarified his answer, noting that if he was told of anomalies, he would have remembered. Meadows replies, "So you're the head of counterintelligence?" Priestap, "Yes." Meadows, "And I am a member from North Carolina, and you're saying that I have better intel than you do? I mean, is this the first time truly that you're hearing it? I want to give you time to reflect on your conversations." Priestap responds, "Sir, there was a tremendous amount of work done by the FBI in trying to determine whether a foreign service, your words, had penetrated Mrs. Clinton's server. A tremendous amount of work." Meadows replies, "And I think your comment was there was no evidence." Priestap says, "I am not aware of any evidence that demonstrated that. I'm also not aware of any evidence that my team or anybody reporting to me on this had advised me that there were anomalies that couldn't be accounted for. I don't recall that. I would like to think that had I been told that, that would have stuck in my mind. Obviously, from a counterintelligence perspective, there's the mishandling end of this, and then there's did the foreign adversary get access? Those were equally important." Lisa Page, an FBI attorney and Strzok's mistress, told lawmakers on July 16th last year that it was completely baffling to learn of the ICIG anomalies referral during Strzok's testimony in 2017, almost a year after the Clinton email probe concluded. "My understanding is that the ICIG did refer the existence of the server to the FBI, but that was because of the existence of classified information on the server, not because of any anomalous activity, not because of potential intrusion activity," Page told Congress on July 16th last year, according to a transcript. Page made the statement during a round of conversations with Meadows in which the representative revealed that the ICIG informed the FBI of evidence of intrusion. Yet the referral appears to have never reached the broader FBI team working the investigation. Meadows says, "So what you're telling me is that it would surprise you to know today, if there were anomalies, that the Inspector General's forensic team found those before it was referred to the FBI?" Page responds, "That's correct. I'm not sure." Meadows interrupts, "Would that, if there is indeed the fact, would that be a major concern to you?" Page replies, "It would be a concern to me that we didn't know that, or that wasn't part of what they told us when they made the referral, but less so. Sir, honestly, because our forensic investigators are so phenomenal that notwithstanding whatever the ICIG may or may not have conveyed, I know we looked extensively at this question, because that was a serious question. And to the extent that a foreign government or even a criminal outlet had access to Secretary Clinton's private email server, that would have been something we cared very much about. And it's my understanding that there was no evidence that would have supported that kind of conclusion." Page's answer is significant because she acknowledged the seriousness of the lead and the fact that she was never made aware of the evidence. Comey likewise told lawmakers he didn't know Rucker. Asked on December 17th last year if he would be surprised if Rucker was never interviewed during the investigation, Comey said, "I don't have a reaction." Comey closed out the Clinton email investigation with an unprecedented public statement on July 5th, 2016, saying that the FBI couldn't find evidence that Clinton's emails were hacked by a hostile actor. But given the nature of the system and the actors potentially involved, we assess that we would be unlikely to see such direct evidence. Comey's statement didn't mention the evidence of the metadata anomalies produced by the ICIG. Comey chose the term hostile actor for the statement, a phrase which may or may not include China or other sophisticated adversaries who are not publicly hostile towards the U.S. Among the thousands of Clinton emails reviewed, the Bureau found 8 emails containing top-secret information and 37 emails containing secret information and other classified material. Comey ultimately concluded that no reasonable prosecutor would bring charges against Clinton or her associates. Now, this article is extremely important because it shows conclusively that Peter Strzok was the weak link, okay? And on purpose. Peter Strzok knew that this had taken place. Peter Strzok specifically declined to tell anyone about it. And James Comey helped by clearing out anybody who could have had access to that information. So they created a funnel for this information, and the buck stops at Peter Strzok and James Comey. I am only hoping that in the future, as this case continues to wind out, that we find out the truth, that the American public is given the information that they need, and that the appropriate legal steps are taken. Because when you have a sitting U.S. Secretary of State giving access to classified intelligence and information, as well as special access program intelligence on an unsecured private server being run out of their bathroom, that needs to be followed up on. President Trump has shown in his tweets and in his communications with us directly the importance of this information. He has highlighted it on numerous occasions. As I stated previously, I can live with the fact that Hillary Clinton will not be prosecuted for the server itself. But the passing of classified and special access program intelligence information to a hostile actor, to a foreign government, which then resulted in the deaths of Americans, that I cannot abide. I want to thank you everyone for sticking with me on this report. I am the Corruption Detector. This is Red Pill 78 News. Thank you so much, everyone. Good luck, and God bless.